What is going on, guys? We're back for another video. This is going to be a different kind of style. It's not a vlog, but as you guys saw by the title, it's going to be how I spent my first $100,000 I made from business. And to represent that, I bought some play money, as you guys can see here in front of me. But I realized I didn't buy enough, so I had to bring in some real money just to figure out, to fill in that place. Each one of these stacks right here is going to represent $10,000. So these three piles are about $10,000 in stacks. And then each one of these with the little rubber bands on them is going to represent $5,000, just so I can go to do the smaller increments. And I know everything I bought has not been in increments of 10,000, so I just brought it in for that point. But anyways, let's move this to the side and let's get straight into it. When I started out reselling, I didn't have my own car. What I started out driving was my dad's old car, which I'll put a picture up here, right, probably in that corner if I can find it. It's an old Mercedes from 2000. It's not worth much, maybe about $2,000 in today's market, or maybe even less, but that's a pretty beat down car right now. I'm not saying I'm complaining. It got me from point A to point B. I did meetups with it, pickups, deliveries. I was even able to go to a couple of sneaker events with that car. But anyways, as my business grew, it was about time I got a new car, and that's what I spent my first sum of money on. So let's see how much that was. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4. So my first thing I got was a new car. It was a 2022 Toyota Tacoma. I'll throw a picture of it right there if you guys don't know what it looks like. I actually bought it the same year it came out. And at that time, my business was growing a lot. We were opening a lot of stores, and I was moving a lot of shoes and doing trips to the post office. So I figured I needed a vehicle that could carry a lot of inventory and manage this haul a lot of things. So a truck fit that description. I still have that car to this day. It's been a very reliable piece of equipment to my business, but also my personal life. So I think it was a great investment. At the time, the sticker price was about 40-something thousand, but for the sake of this video, it'll be 40,000. I didn't buy it off right away. I did like a $10,000 down payment, and then the next year I paid it off, even though I had more time. I think I did like a 4-year payment plan, was that like 48 months? But I decided to pay it off within a year just so I could save myself some money. So there you go. There you go, 40 grand right there of my $100,000. That's a big chunk of it. All right. Now my next biggest purchase, let me see what it is. I think it had to be my watches. So let me go get that for you guys right now. All right, I got some watches right here to show you guys some of them. Boom. Got 3 right here. I brought 4 to show you guys. So yeah, my next biggest purchases were these watches right here. The reason why I bought watches was I always admired them, like the craftsmanship and like the art that went behind them. I just thought they were really cool things. I mean, obviously, besides the point that they tell time, I just thought they were dope, like the mechanics that made them work. So when I had some money, naturally, I went and bought what I actually appreciated, and that was a couple of watches. So I have 1 Rolex, like 2 Omegas, and a couple of cheaper like Switch level watches. All in all, I'd say I spent about $25,000 in watches and about like $5,000 in jewelry. I don't have much jewelry right here, but I have one of these like diamond bracelets right here. So watches and jewelry together, I spent about $30,000. And you might be thinking like, Brendan, these are not worth $30,000. Well, at the time I bought them, they were worth $30,000. That was like 2022, 2023, when the watch market was really peak, and it was like, you know, crypto money, NFT money, and everything like that was booming. So the watch market was at its peak. But right now, it's definitely far from the $25,000. My watches are probably worth, all of them together, like right here on this table, probably close to like 20 or less than that, like 18. If I were to say comfortably, I'd say probably 18,000 right here. So although it was a bad decision financially, no one could have predicted the crash that happened. And I ultimately keep these watches. Like, I don't plan on selling them. So in my opinion, I don't think these are ever going to go down the drain. So if I appreciate it and I keep it all the time, it's not a loss for me. Let's do another 30 right there. 1, 2, 3. There you go. $30,000 on jewelry and watches. Now, naturally, as a person making money when they're young, they definitely need to save some of that too. So I definitely put some aside, guys. Don't think I just spent all my money on like unnecessary things. So as soon as I started making that first big amount of money, before I paid my taxes, I set aside about $20,000 in investments. So we'll grab 2 stacks right here. 1, 2. And what did I spend this $20,000 on, you may ask? But a good amount of it, I would say like 17K of it went into stocks. So I maxed out my Roth IRA for that year, put the rest of the money into the next year's Roth IRA, and then the remainder amount, I had like a little bit left over, I put into a brokerage account to invest. So I started off with Robinhood, now I switched over to Charles Schwab. I just bought a bunch of mutual funds and indexes like SPY, VOO, QQQ, bought individual stocks too, like Tesla, Schwab US dividends, Nvidia, all that kind of stuff that you heard about online. I bought a bunch of stocks, and right now that investment has made its money back, of course, and we're definitely in profits because I bought that like 2 years ago and everything's up since then. So that was a good thing. I think that $20,000 is worth like $25,000 now, so I didn't have to touch it. And over time, I kept adding more in. But this video is how I spent my first $100,000, not how I spent my money every year. So my first $100,000, I took 20K of that and I put it into investments. There we go. So what do we even have right now? We're at like 90K right now. So we only have 10,000. You know what? This video is gonna change. It's how I spent my first $120,000, because this is, I spent more than this. All right. So there you go. Let's do a recap. We got 40K on the car, spent 30K on watches and jewelry, and another 20K on investments. And I'll get more money if I have to. Maybe this is an exaggeration. Actually, probably not. I would probably say I spent a good $10,000 on clothes and shoes. Now, you guys, that's probably my like most regretted purchase on this whole list is money on clothes and shoes. My reason being is I bought a lot of clothes and shoes to try to upgrade my wardrobe and like just have cooler clothes, right? What a quote unquote cooler. But as I like collected more and bought more designer and luxury pieces, I realized that that doesn't really like bring me much happiness. Like I definitely needed some pieces in my closet to elevate like my presentation. I didn't have any like nice clothes. I didn't have any like button t-shirts. I didn't have any suits, jackets, and trousers. So those were the essentials. But besides that, I bought a bunch of stupid stuff. Like I bought a Montclair jacket. I bought like LV bags. I bought like, I don't know, Supreme hoodies and like Chrome Hearts jackets. Those are stuff that is, in my opinion, like not a good use of money unless you're doing something with it that's gonna like benefit you. Like if you model and you wear those clothes, cool. But I don't. I literally just wear it so I can look like I work the part. Because I own a hype store. Like how do I own a hype store and not wear any of the things I sell? So like people, when they see me wearing like essentials and all the hype stuff, I come across more like trustworthy and they believe me more, because if I'm not even wearing the products I sell, they're like, how am I gonna listen to this guy's advice as a salesman and like trust him on his opinion? So I feel like I bought a lot of that stuff to fit that, but I definitely bought a lot of dumb clothes as well. So $10,000, it's in clothes right now. It's probably not worth anything if I were to try to sell it, but oh well, life goes, you live and you learn. Okay, so let's do a recap right now. I'll put a tracker on this side of the screen right here with all of the items listed out. But just to recap, before we add any more to it, we spent $40,000 on our first car. We put aside $20,000 in investments, another $30,000 in watches and jewelry, and another $10,000 on clothes. That's already $100,000, which was going to be the original title of this video. But because I realized how quickly that ran out, I had to grab more cash out. So I added $30,000 more plus another $15,000. So that's $45,000. We're gonna basically call it $150,000 in the thumbnail. Okay, so what did I spend next? That's gonna be here from the $5,000 stack. I went ahead and put $5,000 of my own money on a brand new PC. Now, you guys might be wondering, like, what kind of fucking PC did I buy that's $5,000? Well, I bought a really beefy, souped up PC. It's running like a 4090, has like 6 terabytes of hard drive storage still. I don't know, AMD 9 or Intel, whatever, I don't care. It was built up, so all the parts for that PC, I built it myself, including the monitor, was $5,000. And this was one of my best investments ever because it's something I use every day. I do my spreadsheets on it. I literally watch everything on it, watch videos, I edit videos, I answer emails, send emails. It can run any program I really wanted to and handle like any game I want to play on it. So not only does it do all that for me, but on top of that, it was a tax write-off because it's mostly used for work anyways. And I kind of like win. There's nothing downside from it. If I want to sell this PC back, I could probably get a cool like 4K back for it. I don't think I would lose that much money. So that was my next $4,000 going into that. $5,000, my bad. $5,000. So now we have $105,000. We still have some money left over here. What did I do next? I just thought about this now, but I bought gifts for people, specifically my parents. I probably spent 20K, but for the sake of this video, I'm gonna say 15K. So for my parents, my mom specifically, I bought her a Rolex. It's a woman's Rolex. It's a Datejust with some diamonds on it. I probably paid too much for it at the time, but I needed it in time for Christmas. So I did what I had to do. I paid the sticker price. 15K right here went towards a Rolex for my mom that she wears to this day. She still has it, and she's probably gonna pass it down to me and then my future family. I didn't look at it like that, but you know, like people do that with their watches. So I hope she enjoys it. She seems to like it a lot. She seems to wear it and she likes to dress up. So I'm gonna let my mom be in her feminine energy and be herself and just let that be. Got 2 more stacks here, so we have about $25,000. Let's see what else we bought. All right, for my next $10,000, here's what I spent it on. I'll let you guys guess for a second real quick. Okay, so I got the cars out the way, fashion, shopping, gifts, investments. What else could I have possibly spent $10,000 on? Any guesses? All right, time's up. My next $10,000, it went towards traveling. So 2023 and 2024, I traveled a good amount, and I'd say my next $10,000 went towards that. I went to Europe, which was my biggest trip. You know, flights there and back, hotels. I was there for 2 weeks. So that wasn't $10,000, but it probably was close to like 7K. And then the rest of the 3K, I went to Hawaii and LA a couple times. So it's all gone now. That it's been there. I used it. Amex has all my money now. Amex took my $10,000 because I booked it through them. But anyways, that is why I spent $10,000 on. I would always advise people, if you have money to spare, if you already put aside money for savings, money aside for taxes, and your finances are in order, you should travel at least once or twice a year. Aim for 2 times, but at minimum 1 time a year. Because every year, if you travel somewhere, you're gonna always have something to look forward to. And if you work very hard, you're gonna need that. The stress adds up, the workload adds up, and you need to give yourself some you time and some fun time. So save aside that money, take your friends or your family or any of your loved ones out on some vacations, or even go by yourself and meet some new people. But memories are made when you're traveling. Memories are made when you try new things, and your life is going to be boring and dull if you don't try new things. So the best $10,000 I ever spent besides my PC. All right, so now we have $15,000 left. So what did I spend the next $15,000 on? It's actually going to be 2 different things. The first thing is how I spent the $5,000 first, okay? So I know I said the shopping was out of the way, but that was clothes and everything. I had to buy stuff for myself that wasn't clothes. And it's under a variety of categories, so I'm gonna break it down for you guys right now. But just so you let you know, $5,000 was spent on shopping, okay? So I actually have a couple things here I put aside, right about to show you guys. So one of the first and foremost things I bought was definitely a new phone well, this is not my new phone, this is my old phone, but I'm showing you guys my old phone, which was my new phone when I made this $100,000, and my laptop. So iPhone 14 Pro Max, I think it ran me about $1,700 at the time. Brand new phone, 1 terabyte of storage. So there you go. It's useful. It lasted me 2 years. It still works. I'm gonna keep it. I'm not gonna get rid of it. And it served me really well. Like, I did business on it. I answered all my phone calls. You know, I carried it with me all throughout, everywhere I went, every single day, and it has never failed me. So my phone was about $1,700. I spent about $2,000 on a brand new MacBook at the time. I don't even know if this is the Pro. So it's a MacBook Pro that I spent, has little finger bars on the front. About $2,000. So that's about $3,700. You know, again, tax write-offs. I use my laptop for work. I travel. I bring that everywhere. Another little bit, I have a cologne collection. So if you guys don't know this about me, if you guys don't know me personally, I like fragrances. This is like a hobby of mine. I collect different fragrances. I have a variety of scents. Now, I've spent probably about $2,000 on all my colognes in general. So the laptop, the iPhone, plus my cologne, roughly $5,000. It's gonna be more, but for the sake of the video, $5,000. If you guys want to do a whole collection video of my colognes and you want me to review what I have, or give anyone recommendations, if you're a man, a young dude looking for some colognes to add to his collection, I may be able to suggest some, but I just brought out a few of my favorites. There you go. And last but not least, included in this $5,000, which is probably not included in $500, is some protection. If you're living by yourself, if you have family, you can never go wrong with some protection, especially if you hold any valuables or you value your life. If you value your life, you should have some protection. So I bought a Glock 19, bought a light for it. You know, it works. Practice gun safety first before you buy anything, but this was about $700 together, including all of the fees and taxes you pay when you buy a firearm. So you can't go wrong with that. All right, for my last $10,000, I kind of saved the best for last, but it's the most basic answer. You guys probably expected it. My last $10,000 I spent by saving it, guys. That's right. So I didn't spend it, all right? It's what I did with the $10,000. I put it away in a savings account because it'd be very fucked if I spent all this other money and I didn't save any of it. So at the time when I had my first 150K, I put about 10K away in my savings that I still have in my account today, and it's been growing and adding to it. So, but I want to remind you guys, the numbers that I'm putting today is not what I currently have. It's how I spent my first 150K that happened like over 2 years ago. So 10K into my savings account. You want to have that just for a fail safe in case there's emergencies, in case you lose your job, in case your business shuts down, in case you get really sick and you can't work. You have that money to fall back on. 10K for me is probably about 4 months of living expenses, assuming that I'm living at my current rate. But again, if I fall into that situation, I'd probably cut a lot of my expenses out. So it might even stretch to like 5 months of living. So I could live off this 10K for about 5 months for, I'm saying, for like rent and food and like my health if I really needed to. And that's it, guys. So for you have it, 150K that I spent probably all by the time I was 19 years old. And I want you guys to have a few key takeaways from this video. Number one is that I don't think there's a right or wrong way to spend your money as long as you're doing it within your realm of budgeting. So for example, like me, I spent 30K on watches. If you don't like watches, you don't need to spend that proportionate amount of money on watches. Some people may like keyboards. They may have a lot of keyboards. Some people might like sports cards, Pokemon cards. They may have $50,000 worth of Pokemon cards, but no, they didn't buy the stuff that I bought. I feel like if I were to cut out things that I didn't need, I would have saved a lot of money. And you know what? I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to cut out what I don't need and see how much money I would have left. So I'm going to restart this whole thing. So I definitely needed my car. So that car was going to stay. Like, this car has done wonders for me on all the trips I went on and all the experiences I've had. So the $40,000 on the car stays. I like to say the traveling stays. So I definitely would have spent 10K on traveling. I don't regret that. I didn't need to buy the gifts. I didn't need to buy the watches. And I didn't need to buy the clothes. So let's put that aside. So this was like gifts. Here's gifts. Put that aside. Watches. What was it? Like 30K in jewelry. Put that aside. And clothes was like another 10 stacks. So I'll put that aside. My investments were definitely necessary. So my investments, I had 20 racks in my investments. My PC was definitely necessary. So I'll do that. So what do we got so far? My car, my traveling, my investments, and my PC of $5,000. And I would probably say and really strongly argue that all my personal expenses, like my laptop, my phone, and my cologne, was necessary. You do need to treat yourself at some point to a certain extent to keep me going, and those things are day-to-day things that I see that remind myself of like who I am as a person, like what I like without breaking the bank, you know, like if I didn't have those tools, my life would be more difficult. If I didn't have my colognes, I'd have one less thing to look forward to. And I'm trying to remember what I said about this. Oh yeah, in my savings. So if I just did whatever was necessary, I could have saved myself in 20, 30, 40, 50, I believe about $55,000 right here. So I would have $55,000 more in my pocket, my account, in my investments, whatever you want to call it, if I didn't spend the money I didn't need to. But then again, life is all about living and learning. And as I live, I learn more. But I don't think I fully regret it because, like I said, it was, 15K was for gifts and like clothes that I still wear. What is it? Like jewelry that I really appreciate and watches that make me happy. So at the end of the day, is this a W? Like, what do you guys think? Is this a good way to spend your first 150K? What would you guys do differently if you guys had 150,000 to spend? Or if you do have 150,000 to spend, what would you have divvied it up into? Would you guys have put more into savings first? Or would you guys have bought a more expensive car? Would you guys not have bought anything that I did? Would you guys have not traveled? Or would you guys have put a lot more money towards traveling? I want to know what you guys would say, so please comment down below what you guys think. I think that's all for this video. I'm tired right now. It's late. I try to do this as smoothly as possible in one take. But hey, I think this video did okay. So I'll see you guys next time. You guys have a good night. I finished that video off, but I forgot to mention, if you guys do enjoy, it means the world to me if you guys would like and then subscribe to my channel to see more videos. Keeps me going, and honestly, there's a motivation. So let's try to hit 4,200 subscribers and 20 likes. I'm trying to get it up right now. All right, appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you guys.